What's going on, guys? So I figured I'd start making how-to videos. Today we're going to be working on a 2000 LX470 right here. The Land Cruiser 100 series is pretty much the same. The specifics get down to the difference in the head units. Some have nav, some have Mark Levinson, some have Nakimichi head units. So mine has the Nakimichi head unit, and we'll show you what I got here. This is the Nakimichi head unit. So it's going to be different for all the years. This is one of the earliest year 100 series, so pretty sure 99 to 2002 or 3 should be like this, unless you have any sort of special packages with yours. So I decided that I didn't have a good way to run the camera wiring, so I drilled a hole in this thing right here. I have spray painted the inside. Okay, so you can see where I spray painted the inside of the hole right here. Kind of. I definitely don't want it to rust. I couldn't think of a better way to do it. I know they make wireless cameras, but I mean, this is just, I don't know, a little too expensive for my blood, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go ahead and tape this off, and I'm gonna spray the front of it just to make sure that it doesn't rust right here in that hole. It's not the cleanest hole, but no one's gonna see it, so. Okay, so we got it all taped off now. I'm using very, very, very expensive paint. Might be kind of hard to find, pretty rare, but you know, it'll do the job. I'm just being sarcastic. This is probably the cheapest paint you can buy, but you know, it's a Lexus, so whatever. I'm gonna carefully spray this in here so it doesn't get any rust anywhere. Make sure it doesn't fucking leak everywhere, because that's what we want. And then yeah, so we'll wait for that to dry, and then we'll move on to the next step. Alright, now I got it all together. Pretty clean install. It's a little tight on this wire, but I don't think there'll be any problems there. Overall looks good, and the rear tailgate will function if you open it. I'm gonna need some an extra length of wires in here for when the tailgate opens and closes, and it's not going to be the best to run it from the tailgate to here, but we'll make it work. Here we are with it all installed. Overall pretty clean install, pretty happy with it. So next we'll move on to the head unit install. Alright, so this basically fell out. You just pull away from it gently. I just used a flathead screwdriver, and all these should come out like that, and then you should be able to access the stereo. Okay, took the 4 bolts out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Unplugged the rest of the radio. I just let this hang here. Don't feel like unplugging these, although I could. Here's the Nakimichi head unit. It's all out. June 2000. Nice. These old Toyota electronics are really the best. I like it so much. Even gives you the tuning range on it, which is funny. So this is a radio plug. Going to compare the wiring from the diagram to the new head unit. And unfortunately, from what I've seen, you can't really make a harness for this. So I'm sure you could if you got a female version of this, which is basically this plug. I'm sure if you really wanted to, you could desolder it from the board, but that's way too much work. I'll just splice into it. They already spliced into some other stuff over here, so got a Kenwood FM modulator or something. Hopefully that'll not make my my new head unit hiss. So yeah, I'm going to de-sheath this a little bit, and then look at the colors and see if I can get the new head unit fitting into this bracket. We'll see. Okay. So this is the head unit I got. KWV340BT. It's pretty cheap. Came with the backup camera. It was like 220 bucks. JVC. Can't really go wrong with it. course, I'm dropping everything. I'm in here with all the doors closed because it's mosquito season and they are brutal. I'm about to get West Nile by just being out here, but we'll see. So, I will list all the part numbers and everything that I use in the description for the install. Doing all the shit one-handed is more difficult than doing it with two hands. So here's the head unit. Seems to be a pretty decent piece. I've never really had a nice head unit in a vehicle, so pretty excited for this one. Well, I'm gonna see if I can get these tabs onto this head unit, which I probably can, and we'll go from there. Okay, so this comes with a little microphone adapter for your phone when you take phone calls. I think I might hide it somewhere up here, but in that case, either way, it still needs to make its way over here. So what you do is you just pull on this panel right here, and it comes out, and then you should have access down here to be able to run the wire through. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, so now I got that ran. It's going just through down here, coming out right here, as you can see. I'm just gonna hang the excess over here. And then what we wanna do is we probably would like to, and I should really turn the car on. Seat belt, or not the seat belt, the steering wheel movement. It's kind of annoying sometimes. So, just gonna tuck it down in there, real nice, and then very carefully put this trim piece back in. Just snaps back in. It was really convenient, actually. There we go. It's all good. Still works. Yep. A lot of miles on mine, hey? These cars are amazing cars. It's probably easily my favorite vehicle I've ever owned, and I've had a lot of Lexuses and a lot of Toyotas, and I just really like this thing. So, now I'm gonna have to work on the wiring for the head unit. Alright, so after a ton of screwing around and trying to deal with this super old DVD player and all that, I discovered that in order for this to work, make sure you don't blow any fuses doing this, because it took me a long time to discover that. But this black and red wire is for the amp. You need to hot wire this to this gray wire, and this will manually kick the amp on. Else, if you do this, you won't have any sound from the head unit. So again, it's a gray wire, and there's two black and red ones, so be careful. One's the amp and one's the antenna. But if you wire these together and then wire these to the I think this is, yeah, this is the ACC wire. So if you wire all these three together, it will work just fine. So I'm going to get these all wired up and I'll show you guys the finished product. Look at that flex, dude. Look at that. Look at that. Now this is an off-road machine. Okay, so I got this all taped up now. Looks pretty good. Best I could do. I'll post a wiring diagram of this in the comment or in the description, so you guys can see what's going on with it. Overall, after I figured out all the fuses that I blew by being a dipshit, it was pretty straightforward. So, all right, after some time, finally finished this install. It's a little bit hard to record and do the work, but I'll go over some of it right here. So, this is the video out from the camera. In here, this is the power. So the power I just hooked into this rear tail light bulb right here. Pretty easy, just spliced into it, no problems there. For the reverse trigger wire, guys were saying that I should just do it up in the ECU up there. I looked at it. I'm not really too hot on making connections right at the ECU. I'd rather have my taillight fail back here where it's easy to access than work on cramped connectors up in here. I mean, I know it's not that cramped, but I just don't like making connections by the ECU. So I decided to just use the wire for one of the reverse lights to actually trigger the stereo to flip over. So on the wiring right here, the red wire is the positive, and the white with black stripe is a negative. So red with yellow stripe, positive, white with black stripe, ground. So then I wired the trigger wire back into here. I still have to clean it up a bit, but I came out of this right here. I'm just going to tape it. Same wiring, same way the stock locations ran. I gotta clean these up, and I just put it through this right here, and then past that, it's going in through here. I do need another video wire, or at least an extension of it. I wasn't able to run it 100% properly, so I'm gonna have to pull it out and get a extension cable, or make an extension cable. But the trigger wire I ran through the side, through the sill over here, just down through here, pull it out, and this just pops out. So you can just pop it out, run it down through the sill. And I had a lot of wire to work with, so I ran it up through this sill and all the way up, and I gotta tuck it, but all the way up and then to the head unit. Here's the head unit installed. I need to fit a trim piece. This Amazon trim piece, for whatever reason, doesn't fit. It looks like it might if I trim the top piece or something like that, but overall I'm not too worried about it. I can cut some plastic and do some plastic welding, I suppose. Yeah, so just a little, grab my keys. Show you how it functions, how it looks, how it works. I'm very happy with this head unit. It is a little laggy. When you click the home button, it's not too concerning. But so there it is, JVC. It's hard to see without the glare here. No audio device. I don't have Bluetooth connected up, but it works as it should. When I put it into reverse, my tailgate's down, but there it is. And it auto-played apparently my Spotify on here, but you can see it works perfect. So that's pretty much the install. Everything went pretty good. It was kind of a pain, but got it working. I'll post some wiring diagrams and some other stuff and in the comments, and you guys can see how to do it yourself. So that's all I got, guys. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for following along with this video tutorial, and until the next time, see ya.